All right, y'all. Game 2 of the Western Conference Finals. Maybe not as good as Game 1, but still, in my mind, a great game. 122-113 final score in favor of the Oklahoma City Thunder. We got a 30-point performance from Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Alex Caruso still hit a bunch of different threes. Casey Wallace, on-ball pressure is ridiculous. And Isaiah Hartenstein's probably the biggest topic of conversation after Game 2. How y'all feeling?
Feel good. I thought it was still a good game. Obviously, the Game 1 is going to be in a league of its own. It was another one of those games that just remind you of sometimes almost removing yourself and just being a fan to a certain degree. I think I had to do the same thing with like all of the albums. Like anytime Kendrick, Drake, Cole drop, you kind of got to remove yourself and just be a fan and absorb music, because the internet is going to make things whatever it is. And I'm at a point where I feel like we are being privileged right now as NBA fans of having 4 really good teams in the conference finals. The start has been really good. This Western Conference Finals has been a movie, and all people want to talk about is Isaiah Hartenstein. I'm just personally never going to load up any type of camera or get on a text thread with y'all and just be talking about fouling. It's a part of it. It's happened. I have calls I don't agree with. I have calls that I do agree with. My mind just, I much rather talk about the Spurs having 21 turnovers.
Yeah.
I much rather talk about the impact that Wemby had in Game 1, where guys didn't want to drive to the basket or shoot at the basket, so they kicked it out to Lou Dort, and he couldn't make a 3. You know, Shai got to his game a lot more this game.
Even just like with the Isaiah Hartenstein thing, he couldn't play in Game 1.
Yeah,
he only played like 10 minutes or so. So the fact that he could even stay on the floor and he did have contributions, I feel like that's more of a conversation for OKC that's like, okay, we actually can play this dude on the floor for this series because they need him. Because Game 1 was crazy.
I'm also expecting every team in the history of the league to face Wemby and be as physical as they can be.
Yeah, even he said in his post-game interview, like they asked him about it, he said it's no different than any game we've played so far. Like in the postseason, whether it be OKC, whether it be Minnesota or Portland. That's just the way things are. And obviously it will be magnified because it is Oklahoma City and their history. But the refs are letting them play pretty heavily with the off-ball pressure. Like Shai has been getting beat up as well, and this is not like a boo-hoo Shai, but I just think it's just more of a conversation of how the refereeing has allowed off-ball grabbing and pulling and stuff, and I don't think it personally impacted the viewing experience for me. And I think teams will probably, I said in my video that the Spurs will chop together the 15 to 10-minute video and send it to the league office. Hey, this is what's happening to our guy. Please change it. And maybe there will be some type of change in the officiating off ball for game number 3. But in my mind, as long as it don't go extreme to dirtiness, then do what you got to do to win a basketball game.
We saw the same thing happen in the Minnesota Timberwolves series, which is why Mitch Johnson was like, hey, he got to stand up for it. They're going to be physical with it. That's the only thing that you can do when he's 7'5" and he can shoot from 28 feet and he can dunk it with one hand. Like, and a lot of those plays they was letting go as well in Game 1 when they won, because he had a lot of one-arm dunks because they're holding him down. And I was actually a big fan in Game 1. And Shai was able to get going a little bit more this game with his jump shot. But there was plays where he's driving in transition, and I'm like, they're going to call a foul. And they didn't. And I was like, oh, thank goodness.
I mean, to y'all point, though, like, for this whole playoffs, how many series, though, have just been extremely physical?
Yeah, that's been the name of the game.
That's been, a big part of this playoffs, and it's always been a part of the playoffs. It's just the physicality, and there is a fine line teams have to really play at to even stay in the game now. Like, you can't win a game and go out there without no physicality and not almost grabbing and you have to kind of do these things in the playoffs. You kind of have to get these edges. These are the best teams in the league right now.
Bro, I did my video.
Yeah.
The first comments were, if I'm the Spurs, I got to think about injuring Isaiah Hartenstein. The second one was something along the lines of like, how do you not talk about Hartenstein, yada, yada, yada. Then that same dude doubled down and was like, man, I'm starting to think you ain't watched the way you're not talking about Isaiah Hartenstein. Like, legitimately, those are like the comments that are like just coming in, just like only wanting to talk about, and I'm just like,
And those are so like in the moments type stuff, or not even in the moment type stuff, but that's just like I got a rap for my player, or I like,
which is fine. But there's never been a time where anybody has clicked on something that I have been a part of, and have heard me exclusively for 15 minutes, or any extended length of time talk about some fouling. I just don't. I don't play. I never played.
In my mind, there's just too much going on within the game. Have a conversation about it, sure, but it can't be. Welcome to the video, guys. Isaiah Hartenstein was doing it can't be.
I'm also a professional. I
also mentioned the 21 turnovers is what really did.
Yes, that's my mind. I'm watching them turn the ball over at a manic level. But in this game, OKC also didn't match them. I felt like the first game, OKC was kind of coughing it up too.
Yes.
But we're also professionals. So I honestly can't get on camera and say, I got to think about injuring Isaiah Hartenstein. I literally can't say that, even if that's how I felt. That's just going to come out wrong. Like it's just not. There's no world where you expect to click on any of our stuff and expect to see that. Even as fans as we are, aside from the gig, I don't speak like that. That's just crazy.
Even with that said,
and I know y'all gonna do it.
Even with that said, it was hilarious the one time where the broadcast man, Hartenstein playing some great defense, and the clip that they show is him beating the hell out of him.
If I'm keeping it a buck, maybe my mindset is I would be doing the same thing if I was guarding Wemby.
You kind of have to. The dude just had 40 and 20 against you last game.
I'm a believer that I got 6 fouls. I'm using them.
And Hartenstein used almost all of them.
bro, no, who was it? Was Jerry McCain and Stephon Castle? I think he was doing a jump ball. And they was like, "Watch Jerry McCain get up." And I think OKC got the possession back, but they showed the replay, and Stephon Castle was literally about to get it, but Jerry McCain was hitting his hands. So it's like they couldn't even say nothing because it was kind of like, I don't know if you call it foul, no jump ball, but it's like he did not win that possession.
Now they did that in I forget what series it was off the top of my mind. Somebody did grab the arm. It might have been the Lakers.
I think it was.
I think it was in the Lakers-Rockets series where Şengün was going to get somebody and they grabbed his arm and they were like, "No, we can't do that."
Yeah.
Rockets ball.
I thought the same way in the Knicks game where Jared Allen was fouling. He was getting his money's worth with his fouls. And I wasn't mad. I wasn't like, man, he dirty or watch that. No, he's fouling and he's making sure that Karl Anthony Towns or Josh Hart, whoever, is not about to get an and one.
Yeah.
2 superstars in this game that we need to give our flowers to. Caruso again.
Yeah.
3 for 4 from 3. Defensive intensity, 17 total points, 5 assists. Went at Wemby a few different times. One of them, he got his shot blocked to oblivion, but a few of the times he actually got a shot on the rim. And then Cason Wallace's full court pressure on Stephon Castle is one of the main reasons why Stephon Castle has 20 turnovers through 2 games. I think that he was just amazing. Backcourt violations, just straight up ripping him when Stephon Castle's trying to go between his legs in front of him. And those guys are amazing.
To the point for the turnovers and the Stephon Castle thing, after game 1, they still won that game 1 too with, what do you have, 11 turnovers or something like that. It had to be like, not only was it probably people in his ears, the coaching staff and everything like that, but just him himself had to be like, I got to take care of this ball. To kind of replicate that in game 2, when you honestly stole game 1, you really could have almost blew OKC out the water if you took care of the ball a little bit more, because for the most part, you had control of that game 1. Game 2, we did not see the adjustment. A lot of that is Cason Wallace, but a lot of that, too, is just throwing the ball randomly against OKC defense. Throwing the ball to Luke Cornett and just kind of going off his hands. Just kind of rushing when you don't really need to.
One play late in the game, I think he had somebody open in the corner, but he tried to dump it down to Champagny on the baseline, out of bounds, miscommunication.
The backcourt violation, and I think that was a little bit iffy, but it's stuff like that.
Yeah,
It's all of that.
That one ate me alive because I thought that was in a stretch where they was kind of putting some
And
plays
it is a
together.
reminder to you, this is year 2 for him. I know that this team has been so special in their youth, but the guy is overtaxed as a lead guard in a team that is missing De'Aaron Fox, and it's Stephon Castle. And Dylan Harper goes down with an injury too through the third quarter, and now it's just like me and Jordan McLaughlin as our lead guards, and it's tough. Like, if that is one place where, like,
He's also guarding Shea.
he also is guarding Shea. He's so important to the team.
He's scoring. He hit some big shots, big threes. He's got a lot. The part for me though in that conversation, I'm almost expecting the turnovers now. Because at first I was like, okay, they should be a little better in the next game. No, 21 turnovers in both of the first 2 games. That's 42 turnovers. He had 11. He had 9. That's 20 turnovers. They're going to turn the ball over. Seeing Alex Caruso a bunch in the last series, 8 turnovers here, 7 turnovers there. Therefore, they're going to force you to turn over.
Yeah.
What the Spurs have to remember as a younger team is they're going to turn you over, especially if you don't have Fox and Harper. What you have to do is not give them the sexy turnover. And to me, what I'm classifying a sexy turnover is the ones that don't show up in a box score. So there are certain possessions where, like, I have embedded in my brain where the Spurs took some idiotic shots. And I just think that that's the game plan. If we know they're going to force turnovers, because that's what they do, we know they're going to apply pressure, Case and Wallace Caruso. We can't then give them another version of a turnover when Keldon Johnson is going up on 2 people. That was a possession earlier. He went up on like 3 people, and I knew it had no chance of going up. There's possession where Julian Champagnie barely caught the ball and still found a way to shoot the 3. You got Wemby did a lot of settling in the second half. Stephon Castle took some settling shots too. To me, that's a sexier turnover. When we come up in the fourth quarter, they shot 22 shots, 15 were threes. Those long rebound, Keldon Johnson airball to 3, that is a turnover. Basically, it's just a sexier version because it doesn't show up as a turnover. But, like, you have to, at some point, value the basketball on those possessions because they are going to turn you over.
Especially the ones that you're getting off a turnover. There was a time they got a steal and Julian Champagnie threw it to Wemby in traffic on a fast break.
Yes.
It's like,
And get it
okay,
right
so he just
back.
got it right back.
Yeah.
You gotta do, like, every possession matters, not only in the playoffs, but when you play in OKC, it almost matters to a T. And I like the settling point you had brought up. It was maybe like a 6-point game, and it was like 5-6 minutes left. And just throughout the course of that time, Wemby felt like he was trying to get it all back in one shot.
Play, yeah.
In one shot. And I don't think he took many shots just in the paint.
5 of them. He took 18 shots in the paint in the first game, 5 of them in the second game.
Which was just
That's the difference.
that shot felt like it went to his head a little bit with that big 3 in game.
Because that was
1.
only his second 3 of that whole
And he
night.
took 7 in game 2, which kind of tells you about the settling and I guess the aggression interiorly from Isaiah Hartenstein and Chet Holmgren, where it is now a little bit more difficult. I do think that switch to put a big on him matters a ton. Because, I get my own miss 90% of the time when it's Caruso or J-Dub down there. Now, even though we still did get a lot of offensive rebounds, it's just a little more difficult.
I thought he
had
relied
3
on that.
tip dunks.
I thought he relied on that too much too. He'll drive on them, throw anything up, and
try
hurry
to
to
get
chase
on,
it. And it's just like, no, bro. There was one play where AJ Mitchell and iHeart boxed him out. He getting double boxed.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, bro. They ain't letting you just live
If
with
I'm
that.
the Spurs, you're going to have to take advantage of one of these lineups. You can't it's not like it was a crazy game in game 2, but OKC has now figured out they can go small with their shooters, especially with Jared McCain is out there and really space the floor out. I feel like they just had trouble getting to, rotating everything like that, or they can go big now. So they can kind of hurt you with both lineups. You got to find a way to expose one of them.
Hit subscribe for more news, highlights, and analysis from the NBA on NBC.